Sexual freedom is important to everybody, male and female. If Jesus was a magic mushroom and the whole Christian and Jewish concept comes from a mushroom cult that was also a fertility cult, fertility being the important word because it's about procreation, heterosexual communion. So this mushroom sex cult believed that God was a penis and that the mushroom was in the image of God the penis, and that even the sun was the tip of a mighty penis, as above so below. What part did women play in that society? Well, we know that women were setting themselves up on the roadside under trees in really big gowns and then enticing men in to their big gowns, administrating mushrooms and having sex. Is this why women in the East have to cover up? Because they know and are aware of the disruptive energy of female sexuality. Have they tried to suppress female sexuality? Is that why we don't understand or know much about the goddess? Because if God is a penis, then the goddess is the vagina. And because female sexuality has been repressed, we don't acknowledge the goddess in our society. Witchcraft, for years, you talk about witchcraft and Wicca and the Golden Dawn and a whole lot of different witchy type ways. That's all got sexuality and sex at the bottom of it, because most of the time these guys that come on to you and they're witches or whatever, they're just after one thing, which sounds like a cliche, but it's actually true. All this, let's get a coven together, let's all take our clothes off, it's all heading towards sexual freedom. And the piousness that Christianity has today, considering it comes from a sex cult, is a bit ridiculous, because all the add-ons that different people have put on, like pious and sin and all these things, they're all add-ons. And yeah, they all their meanings are all correct, yeah, true, but it's aimed towards female sexuality. The male sexuality is that you get your wife and you stay with her and you don't commit adultery. We all know that. But how many men do that realistically? Is marriage really a sort of a union that between man and woman that is almost impossible to achieve for people unless they're prepared to search themselves, take magic mushrooms or look into themselves? And marriage is actually not just a pretty white dress. It's like a commitment that you head on into, and you realise that when a man and woman get together, that creates, apart from babies, that creates a great power. And sex with the same person, well, in my case, I know for 23 years, has worked out beautifully. I've managed to relax and explore my sexual being. At the same time, I've been able to be free as a sexual person. Obviously, I don't have sex with anybody else because I've entered into a agreement with my husband David, and we're quite happy with each other. We don't want to be with other people, you know. But it doesn't mean that as a person I can't be sexually free to express myself in a sexual way, because there is a power that women have within sexuality, and that is the power to create the erect penis. And that's why the mushroom was connected to the fertility cult and sexuality, because the mushroom was like an erect penis. So it was God's son in the image of God, the penis. So it's all very well saying, well, back in time it was this and back in time it was that, because we don't really actually know, we weren't there. But today, here and now, if you're going to open up your third eye and explore the realm of the mushroom, I think that's when you begin to understand the female realm, the realm of woman. What part does she have to play in the world of the mushroom? I mean, as women, we all know that, you know, you just got to be a certain way and you can make men aroused. But it doesn't mean then that because that happens, we should be covered up and not do it and not make men aroused. You know, I think we should be beautiful beings, the beautiful beings that we are, and enhance that if we want to. We should want to, because that is pleasing God. I know my man is more interested when I create an air of sexuality with myself. I know what he likes. And one man, one God, one penis. That's why adultery is such a terrible thing, because it just it changes your world, and your world will crash and fall, because the power that you have between each other has then been, I don't know, what's the word? You don't need anything coming in between you. Man and woman is man and woman. But then what you see around you, you're allowed to be turned on by that, aren't you? I mean, if I see something that's beautiful and turns me on, well then that's, so be it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to commit adultery, because I'm not. I'm quite happily ball and chained to my man. So all I'm saying is, let's explore our sexuality, remembering God is a penis. So as a woman, that puts me in a position, whereas I want to please God. But I'm not saying that I do. Well, I'm not saying that I don't. Let's just end it there. It's an interesting subject. Sex, mushrooms, the cult, and how it's going to go forward into the new world.